time. Madam Speaker, many of us have been rising throughout the course of the debate today, talking about the merits of the three pending trade agreements before us and why it's important for us to move forward on them. The reduction of tariff and non-tariff barriers, greater market access for the goods, products, services that are being made right here in America, a system of rules that all countries have to abide by who are parties of this agreement. Core international labor and environmental standards included in the body of the agreement, fully enforceable with any other provision, the protection of intellectual property rights, and on and on and on. And that's why I'm supportive of the three bilateral agreements before us. But to be honest with the American people, and as long as trade remains a two-way street, there will be adverse impacts of trade on companies and workers here in America. And when that occurs, then the workers of that business should not just be left on their own. That's why the reauthorization of the trade adjustment assistance is important today, to move forward hand in hand with these trade agreements so that those workers will have an opportunity to upgrade their skills, to go to school, to have a better match in the job market and find placement as quickly as possible. And since 1962, the TAA program has assisted those workers who lost their position as a result of international trade, help them retrain and acquire skills needed for them to be more competitive in the global marketplace. In Wisconsin alone, in 2010, we had an estimated 10,359 workers who were covered by this program. And my state's not alone. In fact, the three largest TAA state recipients are Michigan, Ohio, California. In 2010 in Wisconsin, 52% of the TAA participants were successfully employed within 3 months of leaving the program. And 88% of those participants continue that employment over the next few quarters. The benefit of this program not only helps workers in my state, but also those specifically the western Wisconsin that I represent. In 2010 again, when Chart Energy in La Crosse moved some of its production line to China, approximately 230 employees were laid off, but they were able to receive reemployment and training services under the federal TAA program. When Northern Engraving Corporation shut down its Luxco division tool shop in La Crosse, 27 workers were laid off, and they too qualified for assistance so that they could get reintegrated in the regional economy. And there are many more examples of that throughout Wisconsin, and I'm sure throughout the country, and that's why it was a bit discouraging that it took so long for us to reach agreement on TAA reauthorization when there's wide bipartisan support and great support on the outside, from the Chamber of Congress to the AFL-CIO, saying this is the right and decent thing to do for America's workers if we are going to move forward on a proactive trade agenda. I want to take a moment and commend my good friend and colleague, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Mr. Camp, for the work that he did with Senator Baucus in order to get the TAA reauthorization in the place it is today. I think it was very helpful. May I have an additional 30 seconds, Jim?
Gentleman is extended an additional 30 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized.
I thank my friend. And as I mentioned in committee last week during the markup, I think it would make sense if the committee, Ways and Means that have jurisdiction, were to hold some hearings as we move forward on ways that we can improve the efficiency and the outcome of the TAA program. Any program is worthy of change and for improvements. I think this is ripe for that. This is only a 3-year reauthorization. I hope we can continue bipartisan support to continue us beyond the 3 years, so it's not having to be linked to other trade agreements. But I think our committee has some work to do to improve a very successful program. I encourage my colleagues to support it, and I yield back.